before we jump into this one. What match are you most looking forward to in SummerSlam? And let's go to you first.
I'm going to throw a curveball at you just because it's not, I don't think it's a main event necessarily right now, but it's just one that I'm curious where they pay off and where they go to, and that's Lyra and Becky. Just
Okay.
complete curiosity because I've been a critic of the feud, I've been a critic of the build and everything, and I don't know where this is building. And ultimately, to me, if Lyra isn't a winner, I'm not sure where this goes. I'm not sure what the point of this is really. But that's purely from kind of a long-term view. That would be my pick for this, out of curiosity more than anything. But to your end, I don't feel that hype for a SummerSlam like I usually feel.
I think it's kind of weird because of the spacing in between these big events and their pay-per-views. And I'll give them credit. The past 2 weeks of, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, they've provided us enough hooks where it's like, yo, if you're not excited, I guess SummerSlam's not for you. But they've given us enough hooks at this point. But to go back to Lyra Becky, we've talked about this feud in particular in past episodes. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, guys, and go check that out too. But I agree with you, man. I want Lyra to win. I want something to happen to the point where this is moving forward, because I've said it before. I love Lyra. I'm a huge fan of her. She is upper echelon when it comes to in-ring wrestling. It's just the personality is lacking. It's the promo is lacking some confidence. And you would think, going back and forth with a vet like Becky, that something would be pulled out at this point, but it's kind of lacking. But it's still potential with that match. It's so much that they can actually do with Becky's character to uplift Lyra at this point, Yeah. But
agree.
Greg, what match are you most looking forward to?
So, I'm a fan of Cody. I'm a huge fan of Cody. But I'm actually looking forward to Drew, Logan, Jelly Roll, and Orton.
I like it.
That's the one I'm the most looking forward to. I am honestly, I told you guys off camera, I've become a huge Jelly Roll fan just by listening to his story, by listening to him talk in general, his whole, just everything about him. Started listening to his music. I'm like, dang, this dude just spitting truth, right? There's just so many things he says, but then listening to him and how huge of a wrestling fan he is. Like, I've heard him talk about it on multiple podcasts, and you can see it in his promos. You can see the passion. You can see it when he chokeslammed Austin Theory last year. You can see it in his face. Like, he was just excited, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this dude has worked his butt off. You think about last year compared to this year, it doesn't even look like the same person. He's lost the whole person.
He has.
That's how much weight he's lost.
Yeah.
And I told you guys recently I listened to him on the Stephanie McMahon podcast, and it's fascinating. And I've just gotten so much respect for him because he's one of us.
Yep.
And I think that comes through. I mean, sometimes these celebrities come in and you're kind of like, let's see. And I said it before, like, you could see Bad Bunny was a fan. You could see that Stephen Amell a few years back, a huge fan. And you can just, it comes through with Jelly Roll. Like, he gets up there and you could tell people are skeptical, like, what?
For sure.
But then it kind of starts to come through like he is one of us.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking forward to that. I like how they've kind of teased some of the physicality, shown a little bit about what he can do. I like that as opposed to just saving it all for SummerSlam. And you cannot take away how good Logan is.
That's it.
And Adrian, off camera, you said they put those two non-wrestlers in the ring and let them carry a segment by themselves.
It's crazy, man.
That's wild. That is wild. And no actual direction from a Drew. No Randy went out there, or back in the day, you always had Miz with those celebrities kind of helping direct traffic. You didn't have anybody. Here you go. And I was like, dude, them back and forth was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So much trust, man.
Mm.
Is that match even happening? Wasn't Drew like stuck or something?
They'll make something happen.
That's crazy. I
But
hope that doesn't.
I, I saw he was supposed to be stuck, and I also saw Miz come out and say he'll take his spot. I saw him put his name out there on social
Yep,
media
that makes
that he'd be
sense.
happy to jump in there. But
That makes sense.
I don't know. But they're not gonna let that one go. They're
Right.
gonna find a way.
They're gonna send a private jet and figure it out, man. They're gonna figure
Hmm.
it out. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, look us up on socials at Suplex Dinner Club. And be sure to check out our other projects. We talk college football on Dogs versus All Y'all. That's a weekly college football podcast where we don't just talk about the Georgia Bulldogs, we talk about all things college football. The Life and Times Pod, which is short for the Life and Times of a Restaurant Lifer podcast, where I have some chill conversations with some cool and interesting people that I've met in my years in the hospitality industry. And of course, check out Talk 'em in the Building. That's a pro wrestling podcast where we solely focus on the promo. We talk about the talkers, we hype the hype man, and we pontificate on the promo. It's a fun project, and if you're a pro wrestling fan, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. If you're into TV and movie reviews, check out Four Corners Cinema with Ari and Adrian, a podcast where two lifelong pro wrestling fans review film and other forms of media that just so happen to have some of our favorite pro wrestlers. The Suplex Dinner Club family is growing, and I would love for you to be a part of it.